Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I'm just overexcited to hear from the one and only. I said, you know what? How do you make $1.5 million? You never hardly heard from him for a while. He was just out there doing the work, making things happen, and creating such an incredible passive income. And guys, until you've ever had a walk away income, you don't know the power of the blessings that it gives to us. So I'm not going to take any time. I know Jim has another Zoom right after. So I want to make sure that we respect his time and respect your time. So Mr. Jim Danzine, Royal Diamond, $1.5 million in 2025. How the heck? We're here with our pen and paper. I'm open to learn every day of my life from people like you. And you're just such a blessing to all of us. And I thank you for being here with us. So take it away.
Well, thanks, Karen. Gang, I don't need to tell you, I'm humbled by Karen, and I don't just edify because it's part of what we do. I think Karen's probably forgotten more than most of us will ever know. But you're the one who I've watched in your career create, passive walkaway income, and then, certain things happen like COVID, right? That's out of your control, and but here you are winning again, which is really cool. So I think. Tonight, I want to leave Karen enough time to kind of wrap this in a bow when I'm done. Let me ask you a question. I don't need answers. You don't have to type it in the chat. I want to approach tonight a little bit differently because, when we do these Zooms, what's crazy to me, whether, Byron and I, a lot of times, and Terry, we'll do webinars where the cameras are off because there's so much, distraction. It gets hard with the big numbers to focus. Then you have Zooms like this. But the way I like to teach and word things as if I'm talking to you individually. I see Jennifer, I see Brenda, I see Rayleigh, I see Candy, I see Philip. Like I'm talking to you individually, Karen. Okay. So the first thing that I want to ask you, because this is really important in our business model, is do you desire to have passive income? What I mean by that, Byron was telling me a story of a call that took place last week, and it was a three-way call, two reps, one three-way and the other one. I'm not going to get granular because I'm always careful with names. This person had has a very nice start to the build, but it was interesting because they made a comment during this call, and Byron and I were talking about it after the fact, how much their phone rings. I want you first of all to know that I'm not saying my phone doesn't ring, but you would be shocked at how little this phone rings throughout the day for the income that is made. And I mention that because to me, passive, your success from building MPG cannot um, enslave you. It can't be a scenario where people are dependent upon you. They have to be dependent upon themselves. And so Byron had shared with this person and asked if they were a parent. They were. And simply just asked them, when you raise your children, do you raise them to be dependent upon you or do you raise them to be self-sufficient? Think about that. We raise them to be self-sufficient, right, gang? So why, when we build a business, would we want it any other way? So I'm just sharing some thoughts. So first, understand this. I think there's two things I can point out tonight, and I'm going to share more from just telling stories that I share in other Zooms, is that one of the things that happens in our model is we attract a large variety of people, but it's fair to say that most of them are what I call W-2 wage earners. We have to understand a W-2 wage earner is an employee. That's awesome, right? We've all been employees. But what that also means is, and this is just another thought-provoking question, does that mean they know how to build a business? Okay, you don't have to answer. You don't have to nod your head. I'm wanting each of you individually to digest. This is more of a thought-provoking session. If if they're a W-2 wage earner like I was when I said yes in 1989 and got into Amway, I wanted to be a business owner, but I didn't know what that consisted of or looked like. So think about it. If you've got a great product like Fix or the product Vericel that we're in the process of launching in Missouri, You can have the greatest products in the world and you can attract a bunch of people, but are those people business owners? Are more than likely is a large percentage of them W-2 wage earners that want to make a side gig or a side hustle type income. Right now, I know the answers to all these questions. What I want you to do is internalize what I'm asking, because I think a lot of people they go along and they get caught up in ranking up or the excitement of what we've got happening here with our company, but they don't stop to digest or process what the individual is thinking. And what I mean by that is if you believe the stats from the Prezzo that we have it all, we did those 4 Zooms last week. We happen to post, so you know, in Essentials, in Spaces. If you log into your ACE account now, you'll see a big square box where the gems are that says Essentials and it says GFL. If you're not aware of that, get logged in there and you'll see it's the best category of our tools that we've ever had, and it's only going to get better. It's way more organized, way more intuitive. It kind of has a YouTube look and it is in categories. If you don't know, Karen, I can share it at the end, but I'm going to assume y'all are aware of that. But we posted the replay in the feed, the GFL news feed of Terry's. I think what Terry did Saturday is probably a top 3 presentation all time. But as I listened to it, you have and you look at the first 2 sets of slides that are AI generated. If 70 to 80% of people have a chronic health issue and 70 to 80% of people have financial worry, and they look at a project like we have and say yes, what is it they're saying yes to? Now, this is where I'm going to make this very simple. Some say yes to wanting to be a wholesale purchaser. There's a benefit to enrolling so they can get the products cheaper, right? So, how do we categorize them? Do we give them a title of a business owner, or do we give them a title of a wholesale customer? Okay, go ahead and write it down. I know the answer. The question is, do you individually? The reason why this is important is when I build big numbers, I to keep my sanity, I look at when I look at my binary, I look at it kind of like a football game, let's say, or a baseball game. Everybody that's in the stands are the customers. They could be wholesale customers, they could be retail customers, they could be customers we don't even know their name to because they're picking up the product from one of us, right? And then you have the rep base. Those are the business owners. They choose to have and create income. Those are the players on the field in this particular game we call MPG. Again, just some analogies to help you process what it is we're looking at. I showed this morning on the podcast. I'm not going to leave it up here to dwell on, but it's funny because these are all individual legs that I have that would be the best of my unilevel. And I pointed to Byron's leg, which you all are in right here, and it says legacy. This is a legacy. This is one of my businesses, but it's a legacy. I know I've got another one here that says legacy. I've got a diamond with a question mark, a diamond, because these are legs that I think I can get to diamond. I've got another one here, a diamond, a diamond. These are projections that I'm making, but in here, I have pencil marks and I have subcategories. What am I tracking? This is all you need to understand. I'm tracking from the bottom up who desires to make money. This is where the passive income comes from. It comes from people who are protecting a paycheck. Karen, if I just use Karen as an example in this Zoom to keep it simple, and myself, why do we do the Zooms? Why do we fight to help you and many others? Because we desire to build passive income. Where does passive income come from? Passive income comes from duplication. Now, understand this. If I were to use the example of, I think one of the greatest franchises in the history of the world is McDonald's. Do y'all know that they have a thing called Hamburger U? It's in Illinois. Karen, you're aware of this. You're nodding your head. Why would you need to go to Hamburger U to learn how to run a McDonald's? It's part of their system. Now, what did they know? What was the wisdom behind Hamburger U? And what's the phenomenon called McDonald's? It's the duplication of that individual franchise. Well, what does that have to do with MPG? Well, it's just a metaphor, an analogy, a word picture. But is it not when I enroll, whether I enroll 5 people, I enroll 12, you have a little drawing coming up for platinums. I enroll 20, I enroll 200, I enroll 2,000. Am I not enrolling individual business owners? And each individual owner has their own comp plan that they start with, even though it's the same comp plan we all have. But is that not a form of franchising? In fact, I believe it's kind of a micro franchise concept. So, how do you build passive income? At some point, math takes over in your team. Now, it's interesting. I had a conversation about 10 days ago. I got a three-way call, and I'm going to use this as an example. I should put my goggles on here. I'm going to judge y'all your age by how you look. Sorry. Do we have anybody under 35 on the screen? Raise your hand if you're under 35. Nobody. Okay, we got one. And I'm not going to change the screen, Shayla. So this particular call was with a 21-year-old. He is a door-to-door salesperson and he sells home improvement projects. And one of my diamonds actually had him come to their home and they bought a bathroom remodel from this individual. Pretty simple, right? They struck up a conversation and Francine got this individual to look at the videos and he said yes. And in that final 11th hour, she wanted him to meet me. This is the convo in less than 2 minutes. I said, good to meet you, Amari. How can I help you? He goes, I've watched a whole bunch of videos. I said, well, like what? Well, the presentation, the Zoom replay. I watched the comp plan video. I said, okay, great. What do you have for questions? He said, really only one. I said, okay, what's your big question? He said, I'd like to just wrap my head around the comp plan. I said, okay, great. I said, by chance, do you play video games? He said, yes, I do. I said, by chance, do you do social media? He said, yes, I do. I said, by chance, have you ever played a video game with somebody in a different location from your home? He said, in fact, I have. Are y'all tracking this? Even if you're older, you know this happens, right? Now watch what I did. I said, well, in MPG, when you say yes, you get assigned what we call a rep ID number. That rep ID number is an identifier code, just like your YouTube account has a rep ID number and your Facebook and your TikTok. Make sense? He goes, absolutely. I said, just like your video game, because how do they know if I play Shayla remotely, how do they know what our accounts are? Because we have an account number. Not rocket science, is it? Everything has a code, which is how they identify our accounts. I don't care if it's social media. I don't care if it's a video game. I said, are we on the same page, Amari? He said, absolutely. I'm tracking with you 100%. I said, okay, well, this is very similar. When you say yes, you're going to get a unique identifier code. From that point forward, everybody that you refer, they also get their own unique code that's connected to your code. Make sense? He goes, yeah, I'm tracking with you. I said, and that can repeat to infinity. And I said, infinity means these codes, every time business spawns from somebody sharing their code and bringing somebody else in, whether it's a customer or rep, those codes are coded back to you and you get a little piece of profit. He goes, makes total sense. I said, okay. I said, do you understand the term ranking up? He said, in the context you're using it, I do. I said, how about leveling up? Now I knew I had him because in video games, you level up. I don't even play video games and I know what to level up means. I go, do you understand the term level up? He goes, I sure do. I said, well, we use the same terminology. Now you'll hear it worded differently, but I'm telling you, it's leveling up. He goes, okay. I said we use gamification in our comp plan. Gamification. Now that's all of us that are older on the Zoom. Karen, I'm going to pick on you just because I know I can because we're friends. But Karen might say, what the heck is gamification? Well, gamification is just like in the video game, As you crack into a new level, it opens up the next level. I said our comp plan has gamification, that as you grow these two teams, it's like playing a game. And when you crack new volume and level up, you open up more check match and more percentage of pay. I said, does this make sense? He said, I got it. I said, any other questions? He goes, nope, I'm ready to get started. Now think about what I just said to him, Shayla. Make sense, right? Ray, give me a little hand wave if that made sense. Does that make sense to your generation, sort of? I mean, he's okay, thumbs up. Was that easy, by the way, to explain? Versus saying, oh my gosh, you got to build a binary, you got a left team, you got a right team, you got to go Bron. Okay, here's my point, gang. All we're doing is franchising, and we do have a game we play. It's called the game of the comp plan. And with the more bit, we have to have a way to track this particular game. And the more people that we bring in and participate, whether they're customers or whether they're business owners. And when they're business owners, I have people on this board here that I track. I have a little coding system that I use, and it's pretty simple. As I'm going from Karen to the next person, I look, is this person I'm working with part-time, part-time, part-time? Maybe even part-time, 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 part-time. That means they're poking at it with a stick. Are they part-time, part-time? Are they part-time, meaning they're putting more time in, or do they desire to slay the dragon and be full-time? Like they're giving this a serious amount of effort. So as I track the individual legs, I start making notifications. And what allows me to build passive income, and I learned this 36, 37 years ago in Amway, was that I just simply need to get more people in the system. And what is that? Really, gang, I'm going to make this super simple tonight because I think sometimes in our training we Zoom people to death. I'm guilty as charged. I can be really long-winded. And the reason why I am is I'm so passionate. I could talk on this thing. I think I could do a filibuster, Karen, like for 2 or 3 days, like Congress. But in all seriousness, it really comes down to this. How do you generate leads? How do you get names? You could get names from here. You could get names from an old email list. You could get them from your social media. You can meet them on the street. This particular person just brought in a new rep who I'm going to meet this Friday when I fly to Harrisburg and drive down to Gettysburg. And I'm looking forward to meeting this individual because I believe this 21-year-old can put in tens of thousands of people, right? So what do I teach this new person? What skills are really needed? Number one is we've got to find out their resource, make a list. Number two, give them a basic contact. I go with the same one every time and I teach it everywhere I go. Karen, I found a way that we can supplement our retirement income. Hey, Karen, I've been living on a fixed income. I'm not going to pry what you live off of, but hey, I'm working with somebody and they showed me a way that I can literally from home make more money part-time than I have after 40 years of my nest egg. This kid here, I'm going to teach him, hey, I'm a door-to-door salesperson. I feed my family. He actually does very well for himself. But I don't want to knock doors every day of my life from dark to dark. I found a way through one of my customers that I can actually create another income on the side. By chance, would you be open to looking? Now, I'm not here to teach on contacting, but here's what I want to macroscopically hang your thoughts on. Is at some point you need to count how many people in your left team and your right team actually know how to do that. It's not about, I'll give you some tips here. One of the things that we've seen, it's interesting. I'm curious, do all of you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is or ever heard of the guy? Anybody wave? Gary V. He has a wine business, but he's an entrepreneur, I think from New York. I was sent from Tom Spudik a Gary V video this morning. He was talking about how this is funny because we're already there. We're 6 years removed from the lockdowns, is that society is moving back to wanting to get together. It is a massive trend. Like people want to go bowl. I saw this morning on the news, dating apps are in trouble because the younger generation wants to do meetups. Like this is stuff you got to pay attention to as an entrepreneur because we are absolutely center punching in our model of we have it all, what's going to create more passive income. And that is, and this is what I want you to hear is you don't have to be me, you don't have to be Karen. But you do have to know how to make a list, contact, share a link, and follow through. Whether you use the buddy system of three-way calls, whether you bring them back to a Zoom, maybe you send them a follow-up video, but make a list, contact, share, and follow up. But there's one thing that trumps all of that, and I learned this very quickly in my career, is that if I could promote the talent of other people. Meaning this, the more people I get around Karen in this case, or a Byron or a Terry or any of the other people who are conducting events, does it not make sense that I then expose them to more teaching? Well, of course, Jim. Well, if they learn and I don't insert myself and give my opinion on that and I allow them to digest, am I not allowing them to hone their skills? See, the key to passive income, gang, I'm going to make this really simple, is it really comes down to compounding interest. If this is you and you put one left and one right, okay, think about this. I don't know. Can you see that, Karen, or do I need to use a different color? Let me try green. See if the green shows up. Is that better? No? You're muted, Karen.
Perfect.
Okay.
Green's
Okay.
good.
If I go one left, one right, and I teach, and my two people know how to build, do you realize that if you have 100 left and right, and your 100 left and right don't know how to build, I can out duplicate you? You ever thought about that? I'm telling you, it takes the smallest numbers to get the snowball rolling. It's not what you think. I personally, gang, full disclosure, one of the struggles I've had the last really 20 months since we really started breaking ranks is as much as I'm excited about people who grow fast, I never grew fast in my career. I had to get the machine going. Does that make sense? I don't think that growing fast is necessarily always a perfect thing for this reason. Because one of the things I've observed is if you put 100 people left and right quickly and they don't know what to do, what happens to that team? Versus if I put one left and right and I teach them how to do the same thing, and then I go put one more on the right and one more on the left, now I've got four left and right. And if they know how to build and they've went to Hamburger U, where does this go? Okay. Now I'm just going to give you a small taste of this, but is it not 2 goes to 4, just like 4 goes to 8, just like 2,000 goes to 4,000? It is the same mathematical equation. And what are those people doing? Make a list, make a contact, share a link, and follow through. Some of you will battle in your mind. It can't be that simple. Karen, is it that simple or not?
1,000%.
Yeah, do we believe, raise your hand or stick your tongue out or something crazy. If you think if Karen is not capable of lying, like move a body part, right? She's not capable of lying, right? That's the point. This is the magic. When you come to Missouri and you watch Mark Cassetta, you listen to Byron Schrag, you listen to Karen, you listen to myself, the people this time that are on the deck to train. I'm telling you, fundamentally, if I give you wrong advice and I hurt her business, I then hurt my business because I check match Karen. If I give you the trade secrets and you grow your business, then it helps her, it helps me. You have to understand this. So think about, can you put in one more left and right? And that is the machine that I have growing in different parts of my business. It's mind-boggling. I could show you, we just don't have time on these Zooms. I've got groups that are like a snowball. It's like I want to use the word virus, but not in a negative connotation. A snowball and a virus, like when you roll them down the hill, they get bigger, right? Well, can the team that has a few hundred people, let's just say if you got 100 people on your left team and 300 people on your right team someday, and they know how to get a name, contact, share a link, and follow through, does that create passive income? Yes. Absolutely take it to the bank. But a team that has 100 people left and right that came in and doesn't know what to do creates nothing. It's just a short-term paycheck. So the tip I want to leave you with tonight is think micro franchising, right? Franchising is a real industry, so we often don't use that term because it is a regulated industry. It's like there's a concept out there called micro loans in third world countries where they do micro financing, micro loans so people can open up a business. Think micro franchising. We always think Culver's, McDonald's, Burger King, those kind of businesses, right? No, think MPG. The other thing I want to kind of throw at you is this, kind of an ancillary tip. A lot of these calls, I find that I have to explain to people something really basic. We as a company chose this comp plan versus what? We did not choose Amazon. We did not choose the box stores. We did not choose to do brick and mortar. Randy could have done a brick and mortar store in Maple Grove, Minnesota. He knew that then geography, right? Don't want to be held hostage by by Walmart or Amazon. There's a fourth option. Come up with an affiliate plan or influencer model. Well, then you just have a shallow customer gathering machine. So that's four. That's four strikes. But what's that fifth option? Direct sales. Ah, why do you choose that? Because as an investor that he is, along with his board of directors, when you have people like Karen Ford and some of you that fight for a paycheck, is that not passive income versus just having a one-tier affiliate or a brick and mortar or an Amazon scenario? Yes. And I can prove it. Amway, Mary Kay, those are two giants. Avon, Tupperware, brands that have been around forever. So it's really that simple, Karen. I know I'd love to make it sexier, but it really comes down to simple math and it's compounding interest. Just like saving money, you have to view investing as in people, teaching them how to do the real activities, just like putting small amounts of money away over the course of time. You wake up one day and you have high six figures, maybe $1 million put away after 40 years, maybe 2 million, maybe more. But where did that start? It started with $1, just like one person. So I'm going to flip it back to you, Karen. You're going to do great wrapping this up. Enjoy your drawing. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, guys. Give him a big hand clap. We love you, Jim, so much. You have no idea what you bring. I hear every single day. I love that man. He tells it like it is. It's nuts and bolts. And you know what? We don't need flashy. We need nuts and bolts of how to really build this business to the level that we all on here, everybody made a commitment. And like you said, you can have 100 people over here, but if they don't know what to do, then they don't win. They don't win. And as Sarah said last week, she said, if you don't win, What'd she say, Candace? If you don't win, who else didn't win because you didn't win? And you need to have that mindset. You need to have that mindset because guess what, guys? Yes, the product is powerful, and the next product is going to be even more powerful, in my opinion. The combination is going to be incredible, but our products is what drives the opportunity. The opportunity is what will change your life and give you that passive income so that you can create the lifestyle that you came here to do. Yes, many of us came for a product, but the thing is yes, we came for a product, but the product will drive that opportunity. How did Jim make 1.5 million last year? Guys, he did it because he teaches duplication. And it's not rocket science. It's simplicity of duplicating and teaching people how to do the same thing over and over again. Candace, do you have the platinum chart that you can put up real quick? And guys, remember, if you did not, I'll give you like 1 minute. If you were platinum before this call for this month, not last month, this month, if you will go ahead and send me a really quick message, I'll give you a minute so I can add you to this pile of names. But Candace, if you could show that real quick.
Getting it. Give me a sec.
Okay.
I
Guys,
have
and I
I have
go
the
ahead.
screenshot for the giveaway, but I'm getting the platinum one.
Okay. All right. I want to bring this up for a reason because Jim talked about having the people but not teaching the duplication. And I think that's why, and I could look at every single one of your back offices. And if the duplication isn't there, you're not making what you deserve to make. And you know what? I'm not a big flash girl. I mean, I like, yeah, I wear big earrings and crazy hair and bright red lipstick. I'm flashy that way, but I don't chase shiny objects. I want to know the basics of what it takes for me to be able to help you, not just help me, because if I help you, I win and so do you. And when I teach you what to do, then you can teach your people what to do. And so it just is so incredibly powerful. I love Jim. He always just gives us his heart. He's such a big old teddy bear. He and Byron and Terry. Are you ready, Candace? I'm going to do show you this real quick before we go to the drawing. And I'm going to look at my phone to make sure if someone said they were platinums so I can add really quick. Guys, see, dang it. Okay. All right. Hopefully I got everybody in. Are you able to find that? I don't see it yet, Candace.
Do you want the 12 by 12 or the 12? Which do you want?
I want the one that Kendall just sent you on the 20,000, 18,000 a month.
Got it. Okay.
And here's what this is why Jim teaches the duplication and teaching their people. It's not just about how many people you have. I'm going to just be real transparent here. Today is middle of the month, and I have 29,000 people in my organization. How many people are in this little package of names right here that literally went to platinum already? I'm embarrassed to tell you that we really only have about 50 names in here. 50 names out of 29,000 gets it. Will they get it before the end of the month? Yes. But my philosophy is if you are a leader, you need to be leading by example and you need to be getting to platinum by the middle of the month. If you're not platinum by the middle of the month, it your back office doesn't show what you really are almost at that point. Guys, I want y'all to screenshot this. The people who are doing this are the people who are making the most money. The people that are doing this has their name in this bowl. And it is as simple. And Jim was talking about the 100 commissionable volume. Yes, you can do 50, but why would you? We have more products than one that we all like, right? So I want to go over this one more time before I draw. And it is this simple, guys. If you get your 12 people platinum the beginning of the month, you focus on those 12 people to help those 12 people to do the very same thing. You have 144 people in a matter of days if you teach them the right way to start. I've heard people say, well, how long do I have to get to platinum? And I've heard my rep say, as long as you want. Nope, you don't. As Jim said, if you want to be a customer, that's okay. But if you tell me you came here to make money, I'm going to give you all the tools you need to be able to make an incredible amount of money. Not everybody is intended to be a distributor. Some people are just product users. But when you help those 12 people do the same thing, as I said, on second level, now you have 144 people. That's a lot of people. You didn't have to go find 144 people, you had to find 12. They didn't have to go find 144 people, they all just found 12 people. And that 144 people, how does it grow that quick? They had to find 12 people. 12 people, guys. I want to see a hand. How many of you really know 12 people that want to make more money than what they have in their bank account right now? Exactly. We do. We all do. And you know what? We're servant leaders. We should be able to help people to have freedom. My ultimate goal and the love of what I do is when I can get a phone call from someone that says, I got to go to Costco. I've been wanting to go to Costco and I couldn't afford it. I haven't been for years, but my life has changed because of this product. Do you think they're getting 12 people? Yeah, their name is in here. Their name is in this bowl, and they have people getting their 12. So look at that, guys. Just think, I don't know how I can just get your heads filled with nothing but this. This is really all you need to know and all you have to duplicate in order to win. And so that your team wins. It's not about you. It doesn't matter about what rank you are. You know what? Guess what? Jim was triple diamond and then he just got up to royal diamond and he still made 1.5 million. You don't have to be crown. You don't have to be presidential to make money. You have to teach something as simple as duplication. And so, with that, guys, if this was a perfect world, just doing that, and I would encourage you, keep recruiting until you find the 12 that's going to duplicate. And then you have 942 people on each leg. Say they're doing 100 commissionable volume, not qualifying volume. We don't get paid on qualifying volume. That's for rank. But when you have that simplicity, you have 94,200 in volume on each leg. That's 18,840. And that's not counting your fast start or your chat match. That's a $20,000 income. So with that, guys, please screenshot that. Put it under your ceiling. So when you go to bed, that's all you can think about. Oh my God, I can do that. I know 12 people. It's so powerful. And Kindle, by the way, you did an excellent job on that slide. I love it. So now let's go to the contest, Candace. So, guys, I'm going to draw a name. Did anybody on here send me a message saying they had not sent me a copy screenshot of their triple? There you go.
I did. Sorry, Karen.
Okay, your name is in the bowl. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, I got you in there. And okay, that one's in there. Because thank goodness for our company who did a, okay, we got it. That tote, that picture don't do it justice. That tote is beautiful and it has a place, a padded center section for your computer. So you have all the little compartments inside to do your business and everything is right there and you look pretty classy when you're strutting down the road. And if a guy wins it tonight, that's okay. You can give it to your wife or you can carry it yourself. That's fine. Okay, guys. Let me see. Drum roll, please. You know, I really like to pick who I want, right? Okay, here it goes. Heather Stoner. Okay, I don't know if Heather is on. Heather, are you on? Let's see here. Heather, are you on? She is not. I know some of her upline and downline is on here. So big congratulations to Heather. Heather, let me see. I'll tell you exactly how many she has by the middle of the month. So Heather literally has um, Heather Storer. Heather Store. Right now, she has 34 active. 34 active, and it's the middle of the month. So, congratulations, Heather. Great job. She's got 3 customers. She's got 31 active distributors, and she has 3 personal platinums. So that's a perfect example, guys, right there of how you teach duplication and actually doing it. So with that, guys, I want to say I love you guys so much. Thank you for having patience with me while I'm going through my healing. I don't encourage anybody to get a knee replacement. It's not fun and it does kind of put you on your butt, but that's okay. We got this. So I will see you guys next Tuesday night and let me know how I can help you. Whatever I need to do to help you, I will definitely do. If you need some of these slides, let me know. I will send that to you. But we're here to help you to have walkaway money. And we're excited because we know it can happen and we're here to help you do it. So, with that, Candace, Kendall, thank you so much. Jim Denzine, I know we had to hop on another one, but I just want to say how much we love and respect him and thank him for being here with us. So, good night, everyone. Love y'all.